My Brother Santa, Great Granddaddy's Christmas Storytelling Magic, written by DaShan and Erica Thomas. Christmas is coming and I can't wait. Every year, my family and I have so much fun. My name is Jelani, and I know who I am. My daddy is black, my mommy is white. Mommy says, "You are just like your daddy, but half me." Mommy says she wants me to grow into a proud black man like Daddy, and Granddaddy, and Great Granddaddy too. I agree because my family is super awesome. My cousins, Jaleel and Jaleesa, live down the hall. So does Jaleesa's older sister, Jasmine. I like to talk with my cousins. I like playing with them too. Sometimes, when we play video games together, time goes by so fast. Jaleel, Jaleesa, and I agreed to meet later this afternoon to plan our letters to Santa together. But first, I have to go because Daddy says it's time for lunch. Hey, buddy, come have lunch and a video chat with Great Granddaddy. Hey, wait a minute. I love the way Daddy cuts the orange in half. Soon, Great Granddaddy's gonna call. I wish he could call now. But the sandwich looks really good.
Yummy.
Daddy's sandwich is stacked high. He says my jaws aren't big enough yet. I can't wait because I'm going to eat Daddy's sandwich. I like going to Great Granddaddy's house. I like when he visits here the most. But video calls are super fun too because talking with Great Granddaddy makes me feel happy. Daddy sets up the tablet and calls Great Granddaddy for me. My cat Geordie joins us. I say hi.
Hello.
As I climb onto the couch. Great Granddaddy's face smiles back at me from the tablet.
Hey, have a seat. Sit a week. What have you been up to over there?
I'm having lunch. Later, I'm going to write to Santa with Jaleel and Jaleesa. Great Granddaddy pets his dog Onyx, who is sitting with him.
Oh yeah, Santa's a good guy.
Onyx is super cute, but I stay focused. Great Granddaddy, you know Santa?
Didn't I ever tell you? Santa and I go way back.
Great Granddaddy keeps talking calmly, like this is an everyday story.
I remember one Christmas Eve, Santa and I were having the best conversation. We kept talking right until he had to leave for his flight back to the North Pole. We talked all the way out to the street. Then an alert came. Big storm coming. All flights canceled. And Santa's sleigh was still at the North Pole.
Great Granddaddy shakes his head. Suddenly, an idea occurs to me. Couldn't the reindeer bring it to him? Great Granddaddy chuckles.
The reindeer were all too busy back at the North Pole helping to pack the sleigh.
So what did Santa do? I asked.
Well, a crowd had gathered around us when that news came out. And a little girl about your age spoke up. She said,
"Don't worry, Santa. You can make it. You got this."
The little girl's daddy took a step forward. "She's right, Santa. I remember when I was stuck and you helped me. I was little back then. I saw the slide from a distance and it looked like so much fun. I climbed the ladder all the way up. But when I reached the top, I was too scared to slide. I looked around and saw a man in a Santa hat. His face beamed with confidence. Don't worry, little man. Just take a breath." I did, and it was okay. And that's when I knew that it was really you, Santa. Santa smiled at the man. That is an old memory and one easy to forget. But you remembered it. And that says as much about you as it does about me. The man offered to walk Santa to the train station.
Now, I get to help you, Santa. Use my train ticket to get back to the North Pole.
As the man handed Santa his ticket, something magical happened. It started to glow gold with Santa magic, and the one ticket became two, one for each of them. Santa rode a long, long way on that train. Eventually, he reached the end of the line. After he got off the train, Santa met a man on a bike who remembered him. The man on the bike could not wait to remind Santa of his story.
One day, I almost fell hard on the cold sidewalk.
You caught me. Let me lend you my bike.
Just like the ticket, the bike glowed with Santa magic, and there were two. Santa rode a long, long way, but after many, many miles, he got a flat tire. Wait, could Santa magic fix the flat? I ask. Great Granddaddy laughs.
Or someone could give him something even better. Because just then, Santa met someone else who recognized him. Santa? The man said. Good to see you again. I still remember one year I was with my brother and sister outside the grocery store. A big dog barked at us. It looked like a bear to me. Someone in a Santa suit stepped in front of us. We were safe, and that's when I knew it was you, the real Santa. Why don't you borrow my ATV? The ATV glowed, and suddenly there were two. Santa climbed aboard one, thanked the man, and headed on his way. Santa got very far on that ATV, but there was only so far he could go. Santa could tell pretty soon he'd be stuck again. I bet I know what happens next, Great Granddaddy. I bet, I say, that Santa met someone else who remembered him, and that person helped Santa. Great Granddaddy smiles and scratches Onyx's ear. You are very smart, and that is what happened next. But this time, it was just a little bit different. You see, this time, when Santa got stuck, there was no one around. So he had to call Mrs. Claus for help. Mrs. Claus was back at the North Pole hosting the end of the season party for the elves. She had a plan. Don't worry, I know just who to call. There's a cowboy named Slim who works with Endo, the nephew of one of the magic reindeer on our team. I'll ask him to meet you there. Santa thanked Slim the cowboy as soon as he arrived. Slim tapped his cowboy hat and nodded. I'm happy to help. I remember when I was little, you helped my mom and I. That's how I knew I could trust you with my reindeer Endo. Good luck getting back home, Santa. I appreciate you. Hey, y'all. Let me give you a hand changing that tire. He does that stuff, huh? What stuff? Changing tires and stuff? Yes, thank you. Happy to help. Wow, I forgot how big magic reindeer were. Slim the cowboy introduced Santa to his reindeer Endo, and Santa assured the cowboy that he'd send Endo right home as soon as they arrived in the North Pole. As Santa flew back home, he thought about all the people who had helped him on this journey. Great Granddaddy, Jaleesa met Santa too. I am excited to tell Great Granddaddy all about it. Great Granddaddy leans closer to the screen. She did? Well, I'm not surprised. Jaleesa's always doing something special. I think back to the story Jaleesa told me. She said she and Jasmine had been arguing all day. But when they got on the bus, the driver was wearing a Santa hat. The whole bus was decorated. The driver sang songs the whole way. Jaleesa said
She thinks it was the real Santa because when they got home, nobody wanted to argue anymore. Do you think it was the real Santa, Great Granddaddy?
It sure sounds like it to me.
Great Granddaddy agrees.
In fact, that sounds like how a lot of people remember Santa Claus.
Remember that Christmas Eve I was telling you about? Well, all along his way, Santa kept running into obstacles. But at the same time, he kept running into people who remembered the kindness he had shown them. Santa still calls that Christmas one of his all-time favorites. Great Granddaddy, I almost forgot. Jalil met Santa too. Great Granddaddy grins and his smile lights up the screen.
He did?
I'd sure like to hear about it.
Last week, Jalil said when he came home, he could not find Olga and Kitty anywhere. He looked and looked for Olga and Kitty.
Jalil said he started feeling sad and worried.
He could not find Olga and Kitty anywhere. Then someone in a Santa suit knocked on the door, and he had Olga and Kitty.
You missed one,
he said. Jalil was sure that had to be the real Santa.
I bet Jalil felt happy and relieved in that moment,
Great Granddaddy says. Well, Jelani, that's how Mrs. Claus and all the elves and reindeer felt when Santa finally arrived at the North Pole on Christmas Eve. Everything was ready. One of the elves was there with a fresh suit, so Santa was looking sharp when he headed out on his sleigh. It was an exciting Christmas, but I bet we have an even better one this year. I think about Christmas and everything I love about it. Great Granddaddy, I think we have a great family.
I agree,
Great Granddaddy says and smiles. I better go, Great Granddaddy. It's time to write letters to Santa.
Well, have a great time with your cousins. Merry Christmas, Jelani.
Merry Christmas, Great Granddaddy. Later that day, I thought about Great Granddaddy's story, and it made me feel happy. Spending time with Jalil and Jaleesa was super fun too. I love my entire family. I wonder what Great Granddaddy did after our call. I'll bet it's another great story. I'll ask him the next time he calls. I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe. Most importantly, please support the author by purchasing their book. Until next time.